I'm Captain Intrigue. This is part 3 of how to build a superhero helmet with night vision, super hearing, and voice changing capabilities.
Captain Intrigue.
In the last helmet build episode, I added decorative pieces and I mounted some accessories. In this episode, I'll be putting the finishing touches on the night vision and super hearing, and then I'll field test the helmet to see how it performs. So let's get started. I previously tested the night vision goggles a few episodes ago and decided on using this DVR, digital video recorder, with them. This will be used on the helmet to record audio from the super hearing and video from the night vision. So the first step is going to be trying to figure out how to mount it to the helmet. First, I designed a mounting plate for the DVR in SketchUp, and then I 3D printed it. Alright, so this is the DVR from the last episode, which I tested out. This is the part that I just printed, and this part is going to allow me to mount the DVR right onto there into these holes, and then from there I will be able to mount it right onto the back of the helmet right here. I applied 2 thin coats of barge cement to the plastic and to the helmet, and then I carefully glued it into place. The DVR is then screwed to the mount using special self-tapping screws for plastic. I decided to upgrade the super hearing with some smaller and more powerful circuit boards. These new boards have adjustable gain and have built-in automatic gain controls. This means that the circuits will greatly amplify the sound from the microphones, but if any loud noise is detected, then the gain control will reduce it to a safe level. My previous super hearing design used a separate circuit board for automatic gain control, but these boards come with it built in, and they're a lot smaller too. I designed enclosures for the new circuit boards, and then I 3D printed them on my Maker Gear M2. And then I used barge cement to glue them to the sides of the ear housings. I then wired up the microphones and installed them into the ear antennas. Then I went back and finished installing and wiring up the infrared LEDs and the bright white LEDs to the switches mounted on both sides of the helmet. The 2 bright white LEDs are mounted on the right side of the helmet to act as a flashlight. They're 5 watts each, so they're very bright. And on the left side I have 2 infrared LEDs also rated at 5 watts each. These will help the night vision goggles to see in complete darkness indoors. Here I installed and wired up the super hearing circuits, installed them onto the sides of the helmet, and screwed on the covers. Next I needed 2 voltage converters to power the LEDs, one that switches 12 volts DC down to 3 volts DC. This will be used for the infrared LEDs, and another converter that switches 12 volts DC down to 6 volts DC for the bright white LEDs. I then designed and 3D printed an enclosure for the 2 circuit boards, wired them up, installed them into the enclosure, and used Velcro to attach them to the back of the helmet, and then connected it to the LEDs. I decided to modify the night vision goggles by adding an on-off switch for the top row of infrared LEDs, and I added a 1K potentiometer so I could adjust the brightness of them as needed. Oh, and a bunch of you guys suggested that I could reduce the glare of the infrared LEDs by installing a shroud between the LEDs and the night vision camera. So I designed and 3D printed one and installed it. And actually adding the shroud and the adjustment potentiometer managed to drastically reduce the glare. Then I finished wiring everything up. Again, I'm sticking to my motto of KISS, keep it simple, stupid, which is why I decided to do all the wiring on the outside of the helmet so that I could just get everything working for now. The Velcro section on top of the helmet really came in handy for securing wires and cables. On the Mark II helmet, it'll be much easier to route all the wiring inside the helmet, but since the Mark I is just a proof of concept prototype anyway, I'll just leave it the way it is. I do have a bit of noise on the night vision video feed coming from the super hearing. I tried adding some filter capacitors, but it didn't help, so I'll have to experiment with it when I have some time, but for now, it should be fine. Okay, I've bench tested the helmet, and I have to say, the new super hearing is amazing. It opens up a whole new world of sounds that you would never be able to detect normally. Also, since I installed the new RunCam Night Eagle camera, the night vision goggles are able to see in the dark much better than before, and the infrared LEDs aren't even really necessary outdoors at night, but they will allow the helmet to see indoors in complete darkness. I also want to remind everyone that this helmet, just like the rest of the suit, is a proof of concept prototype, and that's why I'm not really concerned with all the wires and cables being exposed on the helmet. I just wanted to get it working, which is challenging enough. Later, on the next suit, I'll clean everything up and I'll hide all the exposed wires and cables. I've received a lot of comments and questions asking where I bought the parts for the helmet and the night vision goggles. So if you want more information about exactly what parts I used and details on how I put it all together, I've written a free 5-page report you can download by clicking here. The link will also be in the description below the video. In the report, I list prices and exactly where to buy all the components to build your own night vision superhero helmet, along with a lot more detailed information about the helmet specifications, photos, and diagrams. So just click here to download the free superhero helmet report. So now it's time to take the helmet out for a little field test. Let's see what it can do. Alright, I'm walking in the woods at around 8 o'clock at night, and it's completely dark outside. The night vision makes it look almost like daytime out here. There is a bit of a whining noise in the super hearing, but I'm sure I can figure that out later. There doesn't seem to be any kind of lag in the video feed at all. That's good. But there are some small wavy lines in the video caused by interference with the super hearing, which I'll have to figure that out later. Oh, and by the way, I'm in passive night vision mode, meaning all my infrared LEDs on the helmet are turned off. So it looks like I was right. The infrared LEDs aren't even needed outdoors, as long as there's a little bit of residual light from the stars or from the moon. It is a bit disorienting walking while wearing the goggles, but it's doable. If I had dual cameras and stereoscopic goggles, it'd be much, much better, but maybe I'll try that in the Mark II helmet. So I'm walking along a ridge There's a scenic lookout that overlooks the city up here. Oh, there's 2 deer down there that just ran by. It's a little bit difficult to make out details of faraway objects, but I'm just completely amazed at how great the night vision capability is. Alright, now I'm gonna go deeper into the woods where it's a little bit darker. Oh, I just heard something moving down there. Probably more deer. Might need to install a thermal camera on the Mark II helmet also, so I can see heat signatures in the dark. Yeah, it looks just like daylight through the night vision, like it's not even dark.
Oh my God, that's the van.